This is better than my imagination. This is more than a dream come true. Without the slightest bit of hesitation, I knew what I was meant to do. Unlock a mystery. Sometimes this double life gets out of hand, and it's all in a day's work for Ultraman.
The bank robbers were about to make their getaway. Everything had gone according to plan. Or so the fools thought. Suddenly, the Avenger for the Forces of Good appeared to seal their evil doom. Before they knew what had happened, Ultraman had used his lightning speed to remove the stolen money from their bags and return it to the bank. When the bad guys returned, the police were waiting for them. Once again, Ultraman had made this world a safer place.
Andrew, you're gonna be late for school. Are you all right?
Yeah, absolutely. Tip-top, perfect.
You haven't locked your sister in the closet again, have you?
Mom, if I did that, you'd hear her yelling.
Good point.
I'll be down in a minute. Dr. Jeffcoat, are you having a garage sale?
Yes, I am, Andrew. See anything you like?
How much for this silver doohickey?
$100,000.
Come on, I'm a friend.
I'm not really having a garage sale, Andrew, but I'm glad you dropped by. I'm leaving town for a couple of days, and I would love it if you could keep an eye on the place while I'm gone.
I have to go to school.
Of course you do, and I would be the last person to dissuade you from doing so.
For Pete's sake, what's all that junk?
Ah, Mrs. Schellenbach. Could you be a little more specific?
You're darn right I will be. We don't like eyesores in this neighborhood.
My wondrous Mrs. Schellenbach. This junk, as you so eloquently refer to it, just happens to be the components of an important new invention I am designing to add to the quality of life on this planet.
What's in it for me?
Thank you for understanding.
Now get that junk out of sight, or I'll have it towed away.
Can she really do that?
This is private property. She can't do anything. And now, even if there was someplace else to work on it, I would still leave it here as a matter of principle. What was I saying?
It's a matter of principle.
No. Before that.
You have to go out of town for a couple of days?
Right. The Stearns Corporation, for whom I am designing this solar engine, wants me to meet a couple of potential buyers at a cocktail party.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Maybe. But I have no time. I have 1 week to complete and deliver this machine.
You are never gonna make it.
I have no choice. I would really appreciate it if you could keep an eye on the place.
No problem.
Now, what were the events directly leading up to the French Revolution? Diane?
The common people of France rose up against Louis XIV and Marie Antoinette because of the massive disparity in wealth between the classes.
Very good. Now, what were the precepts of the French Revolution? Andrew? You don't have to stand up.
I stall better on my feet. The three precepts of the French Revolution were equality, fraternity, and everyone had to learn French.
Go on.
Well, a lot of people had moved from the rural areas into Paris because there was a sale on cake. So, naturally, they stormed the Bastille because that's where they kept the cake. Please respond immediately. Dr. Benjamin Jeffcoat, this is to advise you that unless the hazardous materials on your front lawn are removed from the public visibility, the city will dispose of them without further notice. Using my powers to save the elements of the precious experiment that would forever alter the destiny of humankind.
Thanks.
Andrew! Welcome back, Dr. J.
Thank you. Andrew, come down here right away, please. Why don't you try the stairs? Notice anything?
You've lost weight?
No, but it seems my lawn has.
Don't thank me. Only doing my job.
What does that mean?
The city was going to take all the stuff on your lawn away. Look, read it.
You read my mail?
Just this one letter.
That's not the point. It's an invasion of my privacy. It's one of the worst things you could do.
Oh, I suppose you wanted them to take the stuff off your lawn.
Dr. Mr. Benjamin Jeffcoat is advising hazardous materials. They're not hazardous. Dispose of them without further notice. This is probably Mrs. Schellenbach's doing. Now she'll see all the stuff is gone and she'll laugh her Neanderthal head off. Well, what did you do with it?
Oh, Andrew. Where do I start? I leapt into action, using my powers to save the elements of the precious experiment that would alter the destiny of humankind. I knew Caroline was in danger. I knew no one could help her but me. I transformed myself into Ultraman.
Everything's out of order. The wires are all crossed.
I think I remember how everything went.
Andrew, do me a favor. Don't think. Don't. I think if it is possible, it is even more messed up than it was before.
I could try it again.
You've done enough.
Dr. J, I was only trying to help.
I laughed as the goon's useless bullets bounced off me like tiddlywinks off a steel fortress. I transformed myself into Ultraman. Yes, well, I'm sorry to trouble you, but I thought you might be a bit more objective than I am.
Why don't you have a seat?
Thanks.
Now, what is it that's troubling you, Mrs. Clemens?
Well, Andrew has always been into comic books. But now I think he may have gone too far. I think he's losing touch. I mean, he's writing events in his diary that couldn't possibly have happened the way he describes them.
You read your son's diary?
No, no. Of course not. I don't read my son's diary. Well, it was an accident. Anyway, I'm worried that this little world of superheroes that he lives in is becoming real to him.
You read something by accident?
Perhaps we can get to my problems another time. Right now, let's just concentrate on Andrew.
Well, Andrew is a very energetic student. He may not always have his homework done on time, but he certainly has creative ways to get around it. He has a wonderful imagination.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Well, if you're really concerned about this, the school retains a psychiatrist who comes in whenever there's a student who has a problem. I can make an appointment for Andrew with Dr. Fox.
I don't really know how he'll react to that.
So who's coming to dinner?
His name is Mr. Fox. I'm selling him a house.
You mean like when you get your car filled up with gas, you get a free dish?
No. He's new in town and he's living alone, so I thought it might be nice to have him over.
Uh-huh. The way to a man's heart, right?
Andrew, it's nothing like that.
Sure, Mom. You just leave it to me. I won't even slurp my soup.
So, how do you kids like your school?
It's okay, but recess isn't long enough.
Oh, how long would you like it to be, Annie?
Well, there's so many classes in between that I sometimes forget what me and my friends were talking about.
My friends and I.
That happens to you too?
What about you, Andrew? What do you think about school?
I think a boy can get no finer education than the one he receives from his mother. Especially if the boy happens to have a mother like mine, who's kind, sharing, and loving to a fault.
Thank you, Andrew.
Tell me, Andrew, what kind of hobbies does a boy like you have?
Comic books, baseball, and trying to keep my mother's boyfriend's name straight.
Comics. Oh, yes. I used to love them when I was a kid.
Yeah? Who was your favorite?
Spider-Man. Definitely Spider-Man. You know, I used to have these great adventures where I would pretend I was him.
I used to know someone who did that.
Really?
Yeah, his parents sent him to a shrink.
Why is it every time I... Oh. Hello, Aaron.
Hi, Dr. Jeffcott.
Jeff Coat.
What's all this junk?
It's not junk. It's, You see, I'm going to take all these things, and I'm going to make a solar engine.
And what's that?
Well, it's like a normal engine, except the sun makes it go.
Does it need gas?
No, that's what's so neat about it. You see, the sunlight gets stored in these solar panels, which generates power, which makes this thing go.
What if it gets cloudy?
That's a very good question. You know, you have quite a scientific mind. I like that. You know, a lot of people don't take much of an interest in how a scientist solves his problems, but it can be really exciting because when he solves his problems, the results can be important and beneficial.
Can I have my ball back?
Hi, honey. How was your day?
Mr. Fox?
Hi, Andrew. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
Fine. How's school?
Fine. How's work?
It's fine. You learn anything interesting today?
Yeah. We're studying a play that's very realistic. The characters in it talk just like us.
Oh, really? Who wrote it?
Some guy named Harold Pinter. Mom,
Yes, Andrew.
there's something I have to tell you.
Oh. That's great, Andrew. I'm glad you want to talk about it.
Are you ready?
If you are.
Mr. Fox is seeing another woman.
What?
Now, you said you were ready.
This is your news?
I saw him at school today. What a coincidence. I wonder what he was doing there.
Oh, Andrew. I have some news for you, too. Mr. Fox is a doctor.
Mom, you let a doctor get away?
No. Dr. Fox is a psychiatrist. I had him over to observe you.
Why?
Well, oh, honey, I looked in your diary by accident, and I saw some of the strange entries you made.
You looked in my diary?
I know, Andrew. I feel terrible. But, honey, when I saw what was in there, I didn't know what to think.
I can't believe you read my diary. It's private.
I'm sorry, but I was worried when I saw...
Sorry isn't good enough. You had no right to do that. This is serious, Dr. J. My mother saw my Ultraman diary.
You're keeping a diary? Are you crazy?
That's what my mother and a psychiatrist think.
What's in it? Events, names, places, dates?
Yeah, that too. But it's mostly action.
Andrew, why don't you just hold a press conference and tell the whole world?
I didn't tell anybody. It was in my diary. Can you believe she did that? My private property. I guess that's kind of what I did to you. Come on, hit me.
Andrew, you're invulnerable.
I know, but it'll make you feel better.
It's not necessary. All I was thinking about was Mrs. Schellenbach getting her way.
So when do we get to see if this works?
I don't know. It makes a terrible racket.
Mrs. Schellenbach's up at 7.
Be here at 5.
I'm sorry I read your diary. I was wrong.
Yes, you were. But I forgive you.
But, honey, what did it all mean?
Can you keep a secret?
Mm-hmm.
You promise you won't tell anyone?
I promise.
I'm a superhero.
You are to me.
No. Thanks, Mom.
Oh, come on. What was all that in the diary?
I'm writing a story. I never told anyone before because I thought they'd laugh. So I kept it a secret in my diary. And I wouldn't let anyone see it until I was ready.
So there's nothing wrong with you. You're just a writer.
Now it's our secret.
Don't you worry. You can count on me. Even though I should never have found out.
It can happen to anybody.
Oh, I guess we do those things because we care about one another. But the next time we've got something on our minds, let's just talk about it.
Mom,
Mm-hmm.
do we have to be open about everything?
No. I think we all have our little secrets.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, good night, honey. Sweet dreams.
You too, Mom.
Let me know how Mr. Fantastic makes out.